Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing well on this Friday morning. Today we're going to be talking about Kiely, of course. There's been some reports that have been coming out, and I don't know if there's any credibility to them or not. Personally, I don't think there is. But there are speculations that she was depressed, having a hard time, and so as a result took her own life. Now, I don't believe that for an instant. And that's what this video is about. I want us to look at this, objectively, and really, I don't know what I want. I don't really know what I want to say, but I want us to look at it and kind of dissect it and try to answer that question. Now, before I really get into it, let me preface it with this. I've worked with young people and kids for a lot of different years, for a lot of years, and different capacities. I've been a coach. I've coached Little League baseball. I've coached Little League football. I have been a youth pastor in 3 different places. I have counseled so many kids. I know the struggles that they go through. I'm pretty tuned in to their mentality. There was one instance in particular where I was youth pastor, and there was a family that had two daughters. The one was 15, the other one was 12. One day when I was at home, the phone rang, and it was the 15-year-old. And she was crying. And she was telling me how she was having a really, really hard time. And it turns out that the reason she was having a hard time was because her dad had been sleeping with both her and her younger sister for several years. It still just really bugs me, even now, hearing that and thinking about it again. So she started giving me details, and the even sadder thing is this wasn't a stepdad. This was her actual father. And to make it worse, the mother knew about it. How can you let something like that go on for several years? I just don't understand it. So anyway, she told me about this, and the next, well, let me back up a little bit. I was wondering about what to do. So that next Sunday after church, people were out, outside, standing around, talking, which pretty much went on every Sunday. And I went up and poked her on the shoulder, and I said, "Hey, can we go talk? Just you and I?" She's like, "Okay." So we went around the other side of the building, and I basically read her the riot act, let me tell you. I was not at all kind. And I said, "If you do not report this to the police, I'm going to report it, and you're going to be prosecuted as an accomplice because you allowed this to go on." I said, "So you either call them now, or I'm going to call them." So she ended up calling them. They came and arrested the dad. And as far as I can remember, he ended up going to prison. So my point is, I've dealt with a lot of teenagers having problems. It's not unusual, especially girls. Girls, and you know this, if you have teenage daughters, there's always a crisis. Always a crisis. You know, I've heard them get together in groups and start talking about stuff, and it's like, you know, everything, no matter how minor it might seem to us, everything is a major crisis to them. And so, Kiely having issues, having some problems with depression, stuff like that, that's normal for teenage girls. It's just normal for the most part. Maybe not everybody, but the majority of them, that's normal. They've always got something. Now, out of all of the, and I've counseled with so many teenage girls and listened to their problems, and some of them were having some real issues at home, just like the one I mentioned earlier. But can you imagine your dad doing that to you for several years? Can you imagine how that would screw you up? Can you imagine how depressed you'd be? Yet not once did either of these sisters consider taking their own life. All the other girls I talked to, I don't know of anyone who ever even attempted that. And we're talking a bunch of people that I have counseled with and talked to. They used to always come to me because I'd listen to them. And I always gave them good advice. So here you have Kiely. She just graduated early, worked her butt off to get through school and graduate at 16. She's planning on, from what I understand, she'd already enrolled in college. I've heard several different things as to what she was going to do. I heard one report said she was going to go to medical school. Another report said that she was going to go into music, which I find the most believable because she was, passionate about music as I am. She had plans for her life. She was motivated. She was smart. She had a passion. She had direction. She already knew what she wanted to do. Kids like that don't take their own life. I'm sorry. They just don't. So I think this whole theory is just another ploy to try to explain it away from being foul play. Oh, it was an accident, or she took her own life. Oh, yeah, if we go with either of those answers, it keeps them from having to go after these other people who we know are responsible. So, did she do that? I find no way possible that is the case. And I just want to put that out there right now. I know people. I know behavior patterns. I know attitudes. And the fact that she had plans for her life, had a purpose for her life, was going forward with things that she was excited about. There's no way that she's going to go to a party, spend time with friends, and then off herself. No. No chance. Absolutely no chance. So if they come out with either the accident scenario or that scenario, I'm going to really be suspicious. I already am suspicious of them anyway. I'm suspicious of the whole stinking thing. But if they come out with either of those answers, I'm going to call BS on that. Because there's just no way. She doesn't fit the personality type. She doesn't fit the pattern. She doesn't fit the behavioral aspect of it. She had plans for her life. Yeah, she might have been going through some stuff, but like I said, All teenage girls go through stuff. She might have been having problems at home. I don't know. But a lot of kids have problems at home, or at least perceived problems. They're not always problems. They're upset that the parents are too strict or whatever. But they perceive it as a problem. But however you want to slice it, I don't see any way that theory is tenable at all. I just don't see any way that could be true. Kids like that who have plans for their life are looking forward to going on with their life. And the sad thing is, because of some jerkish people who didn't care, friends, in quotes, who left her there to fend for herself, because of them, she doesn't get to go on and fulfill her dreams. That just really bugs me. It is so sad. And I think that's why I decided to start getting in on this case. Because of the fact it really, really hit me hard when I saw that. And when EWP recovered her in that video, that was the first I'd ever heard of her. And I knew from the very beginning, as soon as I saw that video. It's not just because of what Nick said when he came out of the water, saying it looks suspicious. As soon as he said she was in the back, I knew there was something wrong before he even said it looks suspicious. And then when he said that, I'm like, yeah, buddy, you got that right. So anyway, I just feel really sad that she didn't get to continue and fulfill her dreams and live the rest of her life. 16 years old. No, there's no way you could ever convince me that she did that. No way. There's absolutely no evidence other than the fact that she was having some problems. Like I said, all teenage girls have problems. So, people, if they come out and say that, or conclude it was an accident, I'm very tempted to get a hold of the Attorney General there in California and have them look into it, because there needs to be an outside agency look into this. The thing that gets me is they say there's 18 agencies involved. There's that many in a cover-up? Well, I guess it depends. That area is very strange. They've swept, as I've said in another video, they swept a lot of things under the carpet. Anyway, people, if they come out and say that stuff, we need to blow that up, because we know that's not true. Either of those scenarios. We need to just blow it up. You know what they say, that the squeaky wheel gets the grease? Yeah, we need to be the squeaky wheel, if that's the case. We already have been, for the most part. That's the only reason that they already haven't ruled it out as an accident or the other. Because of us. And you and I both know that. All right. That's all I have for this one. Hope I've been able to provide a little bit of insight into this, and of course my own opinion. I believe my opinion's correct, though. Hopefully a lot of you agree with me. Anyway, we'll catch you till next time.